The room froze before I even looked up. A chair scraped, a fork fell. And then my grandfather's voice cut through everything. "You've been getting disability payments for years." Every head turned toward me. Heat rose up my neck, the air tightened. And a silence filled the room that didn't want answers. Only reactions, I whispered. "What do you mean?" That's when I noticed a man standing behind Grandpa, holding a closed folder. My parents avoided my eyes, and before anyone spoke, the man stepped forward. I grew up in a house where silence always traveled faster than truth. My parents, Linda and Mark, liked order that required me to make myself smaller, quieter, easier to dismiss. My sister Emma lived a different life. She was treated like the golden child, granted every wish, every resource, every excuse when I slipped at work years later and injured my back. The imbalance became clearer. While I stretched medication across weeks, my parents remodeled kitchens and funded Emma's private education. Every struggle I faced, every pain I endured was met with the same sentence from my mother. The silence after Grandpa's accusation followed me into the hallway. A family photo glowed under a lamp, my parents and Emma smiling. I wasn't in it. In the bathroom, I sat on the edge of the closed toilet and opened my notebook, filled with years of copay receipts, clinic visits and medication costs, proof of a life spent scraping by. But if I've been receiving disability support for years, where was it? My bank account showed nothing unusual. No unexplained deep assets, no support money. A cold clarity settled inside me. I wrote a direct email to the benefits department, requesting all payment history under my name. No emotion, no whole situation, just facts. When I returned to the dining room, no one stopped me from leaving. Their silence was confirmation enough. They already knew that night at home. Under the flickering hallway light, I laid out every bill, receipt, and prescription. I built a spreadsheet of my expenses year by year. Then I searched how much disability support should have been deposited. 10 years. 10 years of money I never received. By midnight, the benefits office replied they had received my request. The truth was finally moving. The next day, I returned to my parents' house. Cars filled the driveway as if a celebration was happening. Yet the truth was waiting to break. The dining room looked exactly the same, except for the tension in the air. Grandpa sat tall. Stevens. The auditor stood behind him again. Folder still unopened. "Let's get this done," Grandpa said. My mother tried to interrupt, but he silenced her with one raised hand. "This isn't about Iris. This is about what was taken from her." Stevens opened the folder. Paper slid against paper, each sheet revealing another year of disability payments. Signed for by my mother. 10 years of deposits rerouted to their household. 10 years of my name without my address. He placed the final summary page. Over $280,000 taken. Mom's face collapsed. Dad muttered excuses. Emma froze. "You let her go without medication," Grandpa said, voice cold. "You let her suffer so you could remodel your kitchen." Stevens closed the folder. "The accounts will be frozen. Iris will be contacted regarding restitution." My parents didn't speak. They had nothing left to stand on. I picked up my coat and walked out. Not in anger, but certainty. The truth had already chosen its side. Grandpa drove me back to my apartment in silence. Not cold. Silence. Safe silence. The kind that doesn't demand anything. "They won't touch another dollar," he said softly. "Not one." Inside my quiet apartment, I placed the folder on the counter. My name printed correctly. My address missing. Proof of how easily I had been erased. The hum of the refrigerator filled the room. The light flickered, imperfect, but honest. I finally had space to breathe. The folder stayed untouched overnight. It didn't ask me to forgive. It only asked me to see boundaries weren't loud. They were quiet decisions to stop participating in harm. For the first time in years, silence felt like freedom. Morning sunlight warmed the edges of the folder. I ran my hand over it, steady and sure. This was no longer about what my parents took. It was about what I would reclaim. Their version of me, weak, dependent. Dramatic, was gone. I had lived years believing their narrative. But the truth was clear now. I survived without money, they stole to fund their comfort. I endured pain they never cared to relieve. I built strength they never bothered to see. I stepped outside, breathed the cold morning air, and felt something new inside me. A quiet, powerful certainty. I wouldn't fix what they broke. I would build what belonged to me. Truth wasn't loud, it was steady, and now it was mine.